Hey, how's it going? And welcome back to another video on the channel, Huey1 Airsoft. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I went about upgrading my AKS-74U from a decent airsoft gun to a beast of an airsoft gun. Yeah, let's get started. But before I did anything, I wanted to test the accuracy and consistency of it with stock parts, because I haven't done any upgrades. There's the 50-foot grouping, and there's the 100-foot not grouping. It's really not a grouping. It's just kind of, body size target. You could easily hit it 100 feet. But I want to get this thing shooting much more accurately and consistently. So it's not as easy to do gun work or airsoft gun work on AKs as M4s, because it takes a lot more steps to disassemble it and get down to the parts you need to. But I've taken this thing apart several times, practicing and learning how just airsoft guns work and how this gun works. And one thing that I've learned is that the M4s, like some people say, they're like Legos, and the AKs are like blacksmithing. So you just kind of have to do more to get down to what you need. But one thing that does need to happen is the handguard has to be removed. And the handguard on this is real wood, which is part of the reason I bought it. So you remove that, and then I removed the bolt assembly. You get that out of the way. That just makes taking it apart so much easier, and it just clears up the entire side of the hop-up unit and just makes everything so much easier. So get that out of the way. And there's a little pin in the front that also needs to come out. You can kind of see the hole. It's right up where the outer barrel meets there, right where my finger is on my right hand right now. But there's screws in the bottom that need to come out, and there's 4. There's 2 up front, and then there's 2 in the mag well. So I removed those, and this is obviously sped up footage. At first, I did forget to actually remove the 2 from the mag well, as you can see, and I started trying to pull it apart before I removed those 2 screws. And you'll see me realize I made that mistake here in a moment. But the next thing I did is remove the screws that hold in the hop-up, which is a bit difficult, especially with that dust cover in the way. But once you get those out, yeah, I mean, you can pull the front off. You just have to make sure you didn't miss any screws like I did. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. Yeah, here you can see that I figured out my mistake, and I got the screws out, and yeah, there it is. That's right there, that front assembly and the hop up and barrel. That's all we need to upgrade. I'm not doing any gearbox or motor work. I'm just not. The gearbox is very, very, very good in this gun already, so you don't need this though. This is easy. So if you're just doing the upgrades like I am, you don't need that part. All you need is this part right here. So then there's this really, really long screw that basically holds the outer barrel in place, and I took that out. It's got a little metal piece on the end of it too that kind of holds it in. Once you get that out, this shaft thing kind of just slides off, nice and easy like that. And there you can see the original inner barrel, the 6.08 millimeter diameter brass inner barrel, about 260 millimeters. And that is one of the parts I'm going to be changing out. So once you get down to just your hop up and barrel, then I was finally ready to replace the parts. And all I'm replacing is the barrel, the bucking, and the nub. Like I said, no gearbox or motor work. But now I'm going to take a moment to show you all the parts I have for this. This is the Prometheus EG inner barrel for AEGs, obviously. Very, very nice. It's probably one of the best inner barrels you can buy on the market. It's $60 brand new, but I bought it with a coupon code for $50. And then you got the Modify Flat Hop Bucking and Nub Kit. This only costs $13, and I highly recommend putting this in if you don't get a barrel, because they're a little more expensive. I highly recommend doing this because it flat hops it, and the bucking has a good tight air seal. Next up, I'm going to show you the LCT, I forget what it's called, RP1 charging handle knob, and then the LCT B11 handguard. I want to put some grips up there and probably a light, so I bought that. I also bought this A&K cheek riser. It's made for SVDs, but you'll see that I layered some duct tape on there, and I got it to fit the AK wired skeleton stock. Oh, and then I removed the inner barrel and bucking from the hop-up. usually the bucking will get like stuck or wrinkled up. You just pop it out, and there it is. And yeah, I'm replacing these parts. There's the barrel. One thing that you should take note of, if you don't know, is when you're removing the bucking or inner barrel, make sure your hop's upside down because your nub can fall out. There's the amount of extended length in the new barrel. That's another one of the things, is the new barrel is 6.03 with like 407 millimeters. So it's quite a bit longer than the stock. And it's got a much tighter bore, so it'll definitely increase this gun's accuracy and range. Seating the nub is one thing that I always struggle with when reassembling a hop-up unit or changing out parts in the hop-up unit. It's not easy, especially flat hopping. It wasn't that bad, to be honest, to put this just regular old cylinder-shaped stock nub back in. But putting this flat hop nub in took me like 45 minutes. It was ridiculous. And like I said, I don't know if I said, but I'll say it now. I'm not very experienced with teching at all. I mean, this is the first gun I've changed parts on. I've just taken it apart several times before. So even though I've taken this gun apart several times, I've not replaced parts on any other gun other than this. So I'm not that experienced. So, if you see me making a mistake or have any tips or advice for me on, doing this kind of stuff, please let me know, because I am open. I'm all ears to critique, because I need to get better at teching. And one of these days, I'm probably going to want to learn how to mess with motors and gearboxes. But for now, I'm okay just knowing how hop-ups work. It took me forever to get that nub seat. It took me forever to get the bucking on the barrel. And it took me forever to get the barrel and bucking to work together inside, the unit, because the bucking has such a tight air seal. But I finally did all get it together without any issues. And it finally worked after like another half an hour of wasting silicone oil and just screwing around with it. Pretty much everything I did as far as these internal upgrades go took way longer than it should have. But now I'm going to show you this footage. It's sped up, obviously, just me reassembling the gun. I guess if you wanted to see me reassemble it in regular speed, too bad. This video is already getting to be too long. But it's literally the same process as taking it apart. You just do it all over backwards. So, yeah, still relatively simple. If you'd like to see me make a disassembly video about this gun, you can comment that down below and like this video and subscribe to it. If I do make a disassembly video, I'm not going to make like a complete disassembly like some of those people who literally take the thing just completely apart, but I might show you like how to do it in more detail. But now I'm going to throw in that railed lower handguard. This is like the best B11 I think you can buy for Airsoft. Avengers, I believe it's Avengers, makes one as well, but it's like $50, and I was like, well, the LCT one's cheaper, and it has to be better quality. So once I got that secured in, which, by the way, if you want to secure it properly, you might need to Dremel. I did not have to Dremel. Mine actually wasn't too big for the space. It's actually almost too small. So I might do some, I don't really know what yet, but I might do something to make it fit tighter, because it's still a little loose, because it's actually a little too small for the space. And then the upper handguard piece still pops in really nice and easy. I hated to get rid of the real wood lower handguard, but to be honest, it's so much more comfortable having that railed B11 up there. Plus, with that, I can put on my attachments, so it's worth it, really. And then the low charging handle knob went on there, very nice and easy. And then this A&K cheek pad is actually designed for SVD stocks. It's an SVD cheek riser. So it did kind of go on, but what I did is I just layered the bottom side, the part with the real wood on it. I layered that in some strips of duct tape. You can't tell there's even duct tape on it, and it's secured on there perfectly now. So pro tip, I guess, if you buy, not pro tip, but tip if you buy this cheek riser and you want to put it on an AK skeleton stock. As you can see, I'm currently attempting to put on the Magpul MOE RVG thing. I did buy this used, but it's in like perfect condition, and I bought it for $15 instead of, it's like $25 to buy it new. I also have this rubber stock pad that I bought a while back, and I slapped that on there along with the red dot. That right there, that suppressor, is a custom 3D print suppressor that I had a friend 3D print, and then I did some dremeling to fit it. So it kind of like just kind of screws on to the muzzle with tension. I was going, and I wanted to have just, thread a regular PBS1 mock suppressor on there, but I could not for the life of me get that muzzle off, and I wasn't about to break the gun, so I decided just to go the 3D printer route. And here is the finished product, all the attachments. I got ENL Bakelite Brown mid caps. I got a 2-point sling on it there. And here are the results from the accuracy test. So there's the 50 feet with the upgrades in it. And as you can see, compared to the first test on the left, it's much better. And then on the right, or not on the right, but this next, it's not a huge difference at 100. It's not as spread out, but I mean, yeah, it's definitely better. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you somehow made it this far, please be sure to like and subscribe, because I put a lot of effort into my videos, even though they're not always the highest quality. They still take a lot of time to edit, record, and do voiceovers and all that. So any support you give is greatly appreciated, and be on the lookout for future videos from me. And with that being said, just be sure to have a great day and stay safe. Subscribe.